just on the interchanges too, because it has been a warm night. 112 so far to Collingwood, 92 to the Hawks. So that may be a factor in this last quarter with the pressure really being applied.
Thanks, Tim. As we start the last term, Collingwood put their big guns in the centre for the opening bounce.
Yeah, the four best: Darren Jolly in the ruck, Swan, Pendlebury and Luke Ball. Doesn't get much better than that.
See, Jordan Lewis is in the middle. Wouldn't be surprised. He'll often try and take that close checking role. Maybe he's in there to make sure that Pendlebury can't run around on his own.
If you've got to tip Lee and Tom, who do you reckon from here?
I think Hawthorn might finish the game a bit stronger. Collingwood have been the best to this point, however.
So Macaulay gets the tap. Here's Pendlebury again, yet another clearance. Side bottom, who's been a good backup for him. Thomas looks up, little kick just smothered off the boot. Dawes off the ground, Daisy! Oh, bouncing ball in a dangerous zone here. Sinclair did well, and then Thomas again, brilliantly done, back to Sinclair. Out of play. What about you, Tom?
I'm with the Hawks still. I think just a little bit more depth through the midfield.
Nick off camera told me Collingwood. Boundary throw in. Jolly's in front. Gets some spacing there. Knocks it down. Swan couldn't control it. Schoenmaker's got it across to support. Sewell to Guerra. Goes with the right boot. Short of the wing. Hale is outnumbered, but he might get the free kick. Well, that's a blessing. Just kept at it. Trying to get in front of his marker, Keith. Succeeded in winning the free kick. Kicks beyond the wing. Runs free at the back, all Collingwood. Clark has made a nice re-entry to AFL football. Having said that, of course, he kicks it straight to Hale to Rioli. Rioli goes short on the lead. Mark is taken by Bruce down there. Or was it Gunston? It's Gunston on the ground. He gave it across to Whitecross. Whitecross only as far as Pendlebury, who plays it to Reid.
And Reid's kick, Seedsman takes the mark. He was off. Bateman's got him. And then Whitecross inboard, good handball. Here is Gunston, lovely kick. Oh, Franklin again just drops it. He'll try and work an angle. He's in a good pocket for Bloody. Splits the middle. He's kicked four.
Reid's been pretty good in the air with him, you've got to say that. But when the ball's come to ground, he's just second effort agility, which makes him so special. A guy of sort of mid-190 centimetres. Has enabled him to kick the hard goal.
Before the game, Lee, we spoke about how the difference between Cloke and Franklin. With Cloke, you do get the opportunity as a teammate to come third up, but that's the X factor that Franklin's got. As you mentioned, Reid has competed exceptionally well in the marking contest, but when the ball's on the deck, good luck, hang on for dear life.
We always think if there's one part of Franklin's game that's bit average, it's his overhead marking. That's the ground level speed and agility for a bloke of his size. That's what kills him most of the time.
Amazing package, isn't it? 12 points the difference. One down by Macaulay this time. Spills to Sewell. Quick hands, just missed the target. Diving on it, Whitecross. Then trying to roll away from the footy. Ball is in there. Slips a hand pass to Jolly. Got to his move pretty early. Sewell comes again. Great work by Brad Sewell. Wins the free kick. Plays on to Lewis. Slips it away to Mitchell. Mitchell just lobs it to Suckling. Suckling pops it inside the forward 50 to Osborne. Surgical stuff from the Hawks. He goes again. Not so good. Over the head of Smith. Shaw is there and gets the ball out of bounds. So nice, that movement early from the Hawks. It just needed the finish.
Got it where they wanted, though, the Hawks. Couple of goals in front at their end. Well done, Jolly, side bottom. Swan, all been good players. Cloke. I'd love him to be getting the ball within range in this last term. You feel like Cloke's got to kick a couple in the last quarter. Got two so far. So Swan running hard from side bottom and then gets the ball inside 50. Payne at the back. Well done, Stratton in the front. Dawes just slipped out of his hands. Rounds taken to ground. Nice tackle. Ball hasn't come out. Ball up.
Only the fourth stoppage since quarter time, highlighting how ballistic the game's been. These players are going to be absolutely out on their legs.
20 metres from goal, then the bounce. Jolly, for to draw. Ball was buried, taken high. Luke Ball. He'll take a good kick from here. This player's very tired. Grew up barracking for the Hawks, did Luke Ball. As you can see, the margin 12 points. This will pull it back to just a goal. Surprisingly, I was surprised, Lee, his kicking at goal last season was elite at 86%.
Well, he's not a long kick, but he's normally a straight kick, and he's backed himself. He's going to have to kick from the 50-metre line, but he's backed himself.
Kicked some valuable goals for them too last year. This hasn't got the carry, I don't think. Right on the line, off hands, comes to Gibson. Now they'll bring it away. Suckling unloads, sends it towards the wing, miscued slightly. Pasolo sends it back. High ball. Hawthorn in best position to destroy it, and they do. They get it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Both sides, and particularly Collingwood, they've really attacked the front of the goal square. They've had the ball up around the middle of the, get into their forward half. They've just been happy just to bomb it long and deep. I guess they've got 28 scoring shots, so they've got some shots, but they're really going deep.
Jolly tapped it down. Quick kick away from Smith. Now Rioli. O'Brien trying to close. Cyril teasing him with the bounce. Then running backwards and then kicking backwards to Birchall. And then Birchall off a step. Franklin's in a good spot. Worked underneath. No free kick. And he was pushed out from Goldsack.
Looked a pretty good matchup for Hawthorn, didn't it, when Franklin had that jump against Goldsack. He just worked his body into him well enough.
So Hawthorn at 50, couple of goals in front. Saul, tireless again tonight. Smith just had to concede. Mitchell, so much of the ball. Well done. Saul loads up, leans back, kicks a good one right to Gunston, and just fading away from behind.
I mean, what has disappeared from the game, of course, is the forward leading at the kicker. So what we're seeing more and more, Geelong did it late in the grand final. That really worked for them. Just this going long and attacking the full forward line deep.
Goldsack, who's been very brave tonight, kicks it out wide. Tuvey gathers the bouncing ball. Decides to go for distance. It favours Dawes, and he guarded the space very nicely. Dipping back, took the mark, looks towards the middle. Jolly, metres in the clear. He can run inside the 50. Jolly, can he finish? Yes, he can! Marvellous. 2 goals to the big man.
It's a good example of coming inside that low risk going down the boundary line. Okay, that's fine, but you've got to have a look inside. And in this particular game, there's players floating in there. You've got to be able to use them. That's what happened then.
We've got a guy that's played over 200 games and a premiership player up against a ruckman who's playing on his 4th game tonight. So Jolly, very important again, getting a link here. Kicking to full for Cloak. Almost didn't quite stick. Showmaker's in trouble. Ball doesn't quite get out. Stratton, Cloak in there again. And suddenly Jolly's becoming the most important player out there, isn't he?
Well, what Macaulay's going to have to be really mindful of is exactly that stoppage there. Macaulay went and hunted the ball. Jolly pushed forward. That's how he gets on the end of them and kicks goals.
Here he is again. Macaulay just got into his back a bit. Burgoyne couldn't quite take it. Jolly back to Macaulay. Gets it out of the 50, but not far.
That's Jack. That's the mark, Jack.
Goldsack, part of the press, pushing right up the ground. 70 metres out. Unloads. Maybe a fraction too deep. Working in front. Off hands, Blair. 3 goals to Blair.
She's been a good return by Blair. They were 26 points in front of Hawthorn. Collingwood 6 of the last 8.
Again, it's just attacking the goal front. It's amazing you attack the goal front, how scoring opportunities are created. And if the opposition get it, they're really deep in defence on the way back.
So back to a 1-point game. Collingwood hasn't been in front for a long time after they led for much of the first half. Big spoil by Guerra after Swan belted the ball forward.
Don't ask me who I think of wingers. I've got no idea. This game has just ebbed and flowed backwards and forwards. It's been a terrific game of footy, though, because it has had that flow about it. Not congested, but flowing.
47 minutes since Collingwood led, and what would you ask Mickey Malthouse at the end of the match? We've got about a dozen questions I'd like to ask him right now as Collingwood go forward. And Swan built. It was a daisy cutter, wasn't it?
It was.
We've spoken about the young Collingwood side, but they still have their 5 All-Australians from last year.
People in the stadium at the moment.
And what about Bucks, eh?
3 goals to the Magpies from their last 4 inside 50s. Sewell, long as he kicked, it comes to Rioli. Fossick sits forward. Taken there by Osborne. Kicks inside the forward 50 and Franklin. So he'll go back now and try and put the Hawks back in front.
The technique isn't mostly Reed's been okay overhead, but he just got stuck really on Franklin's back, so he just couldn't really jump at it, and the height in the reach of Franklin.
Well done by Osborne. Back inside the centre square. By hook or by crook, just forcing it forward. Now Franklin going at number 5. Tight. It's very tight. It's behind. Certainly not a blazing first half, but his second half has been far better, and the cream is rising to the top on both sides.
Rioli started inside the centre square of that last clearance.
Margin 4 points.
It's a bit like Revolt last night. I mean, 4 goals, you kick 88 for the year, don't you, before the finals? But there's still a bit of game time here for Franklin, and maybe for Cloak at the other end. Collingwood, oh, gee, Short took a big chance. O'Brien off a step, got some good meterage there. Saul, 55 out, high ball in, contest, belted away, Reed, little toe poke, clever by Shaw. Bateman couldn't get hold of it, boundary throw in. So Alistair Clarkson down at ground level here. He went into a cave the last time he played Collingwood, and they lost that prelim final.
I wonder whether they've fixed the perspex above the box there.
Quick kick by Goldsack. How brave has Goldsack been tonight? We had him dead and buried at half-time, didn't we? Boundary throw-in.
It's amazing what you can do during the breaks. Give him a little bit of assistance for the second half. He's going to be very sore tomorrow.
He won't sleep much tonight.
Boundary throw-in. Hale directs it down. Chance for Lewis. Hale came again. Goldsack goes after it. He was thinking about the shoulder that time. Bateman hand passes to Birchall. Moves it about 25 metres. Spills to Sewell. He's been very important, Sewell. Inside the forward 50. He's going to pay a free kick. Well, gee, that is a tough call. Love to see it again. Osborne's got the footy. Man on the mark is 2 metres inside the 50. Franklin has it now and will line up for number 5. When the contact came, it seemed that Shaw had both hands above his head.
It certainly wasn't hands in the back, was it?
No.
Obviously, the umpires played that he's actually pushed him in the back, but it was with his body, which is why you think it's a little bit of a fairly tough call.
We saw one on the outer side against this man with the ball just a few minutes ago that seemed much more a push in the back. It wasn't paid. Still, as they say, they even up. Franklin steps to the 50, and again he's missed, I think, in the same spot. As I said earlier, that takes a bit of doing. Just hooking that ball. It went through at about 3/4 goalpost height, but just the behind. Collingwood cling to their 3-point margin.
And the irony is that Hawthorn is 6-2 from set shots tonight. The 2 misses Buddy deep into this match, and Collingwood is 6 goals, 9 from the set shots. Shaw gets the ball to half back. Hawthorn are pressing hard. Good hands by Suckling, riding the tackle there. Gunston, ball to Rioli. Something normally happens. Savage 50 metres out. It's a good kick. They're back in front. Can you have game of the year in round 1?
What has happened then, I reckon Hawthorn really defended that kick in really well. Collingwood didn't seem to have any particular option. I'm sure played on and kicked it long, but there was no numerical ascendancy for Collingwood, so Collingwood really didn't have any particular working plan to at least outnumber on the end of the kick-in.
There was no movement, Lee. I was watching that pretty closely. Players obviously out on their feet. Heath Shaw only had the option to go long. Both times the ball's been repelled back from a kick-in. It's been Brad Sewell. He stood up across half-back. He's read the kick out really well. And Savage, he's become a really important player. Second goal.
Interesting they went outside, though, wasn't it? Because we've seen that play a couple of times now. The kick to himself by Heath Shaw. And on that side, they had Rounds and Seedsman. So obviously, they weren't looking for some of their best players, and that's no put down of those 2, but 2 inexperienced players on the end of the kick. Was that their intention? Not sure. Ball comes down towards the 50. Brilliant by Franklin. Turned around. Turvey was waiting. Well done by Reed. Turvey Now ball, left half back up towards the wing. Over the head of Burgoyne and Sinclair, trying to keep it indoors. Sinclair still the run of it. Well done, Burgoyne. Put him on the deck. Birchall back to Burgoyne. Strong. Stood up in the tackle. Gave it to Savage. Savage the hand pass to Birchall. Birchall the searching kick inside the forward 50. Almost the one-handed to Reid. Brilliantly blanketed there by the champion. And now it comes across from Osborne to Smith. Oh, Franklin. Bit of magic. To Smith.
Kid from Cootamundra Country, New South Wales, Isaac Smith, really came on and has played some really good games in big games. He absolutely started in the first quarter in a final last year. Great poise here from the young player, but this has been a great contest, I reckon, one league.
It has. Whenever it's gone to ground level, you can see that all of a sudden Reid's really shaky. But Hawthorn just looked like they got an extra player or two on the ground all of a sudden the last 5 minutes. They're just getting that extra player to the contest all the time to be used as a release or to pressure Collingwood into error.
Lee, can you think of a big forward that's as dangerous as Franklin when the ball hits the ground?
Nah, none that's ever been as dangerous here at ground level.
So suddenly the Hawks get some breathing space. 4 goals out of Smith and Savage. That's a bonus, isn't it, for Hawthorn?
Not of the 195 centimetre variety we're talking.
Macaulay, that's a good tap. Jolly was strong though, building the ball forward. Macaulay, well done by Sinclair, kamikaze stuff. Collingwood get it back inside. They need the next goal. Pendlebury slung to the ground, ball comes out. Lewis, the acting captain's have been important. He can run Smith, he's kicked 2, he bounces it twice. Good handball, Osborne, still Osborne. Well tackled, can't quite get it away. Reid, Franklin bearing down on him. Ball in dispute, where's it gonna go? Ball up.
How good was Reid? He just turned an ankle, got up and went at that football. Wow.
Pulsating stuff, isn't it?
And the man coming down the ground missed the fact that Franklin had stayed on his feet, peeled off. He was 20 metres in the clear. Macaulay hooks it down. Reid again in the action. Can't take a breather here. Rioli goes after the football. In trouble, Gunston. Tuvey tries to back out of the pack. We'll get a whistle.
Keep an eye on Seal around this stoppage, I reckon.
He's been pretty good here too in the air, hasn't he, Macaulay? He's been quite good at setting up some things here.
Still plenty of time. 1:15 to 1:06. Lewis likes to be third man up, hooks it down. Clark runs into Mitchell, who's drifted out of the game. It comes back, and the snap from Lewis misses to the near side.
Let's watch this kick in. Man on man, the Pies look like they're going.
They just don't look like they've got any plan. They've gone into the back pocket, but they just don't look like they've got any movement working for the kick-in, have they?
Tuvey, just stretch goal sack, and that's the result he probably hoped for in the end.
Yeah, when a stoppage probably 80 metres from goal seems like a bit of a win for the team kicking in, you know they're not really getting much offence out of there.
Whereas Hawthorn have done so well there tonight. Bateman rode the tackle well. Whitecross, Stratton, Suckling, they use it. Guerra, Suckling, long bomb in the Franklin direction again. Reid got rid of him. Osborne's been busy. Good little give. Tackles a beauty on Gunston. Back to Osborne. Osborne tried to get the handball over the top towards Franklin and also Lewis, and then off the ground by Osborne. Gunston and Shaw. A good tackle, Gunston. Where's that footy? Now coming out. Lewis hands and knees. Free kick in the back.
Throw.
Collingwood between his legs.
Against Jordan.
Okay,
Against Jordan. Tuvey's kick.
5 corridor, first 5 metres. Quick shot in into out. No.
Just lost the clock for the moment.
Put them up, please.
Got about, I think, about 8 minutes to go, didn't I?
Yeah.
20 down in real time.
Showed 9.5 just a few moments ago, so about just under 9, I'd suggest. There's Hale. Gave it to Stratton. Mitchell, beautiful kick. Suckling. Whitecross runs to the 50, lays it off. Savage again. He hurt them last time with the long bomb. And this one is out to the right. Behind.
So that's the count up. So almost 20 minutes in this final quarter. Gee, Savage and Smith have been
I think
vital in
it
this
was
last
Sam
quarter.
Mitchell. We did an interview last year and he was just saying what a fantastic athlete Isaac Smith was, like a terrific run, and you can see he's covering the ground now when most players are really just starting to take short steps.
Pendlebury has been superb. Some things don't change, Bruce. We've got the count up clock.
It is one-on-one all over the ground here.
Still, Pendlebury goes short, and the mark is taken out there by Suckling. Thinks quickly. Gives it across to Guerra. Guerra goes towards the boundary line, trying to work it back and misses to the near side. They're taking target practice at the moment. They're shelling the goals.
Now we're 21 minutes in. We had a 28-minute first quarter, a 35-minute second quarter, all of those goals, and a 30-minute third quarter. So probably about 8 minutes to go.
Jack!
So Gunston, the former Crow, a bit surprised he started sub tonight. Thought he might start as the third tall. This will be something from here. Got high hopes for him, because Ruff had to come back in the next couple of weeks. So Gunston from the pocket. Gee, that is a Hawthorn kick. First shot of goal for the Hawks.
It's a way to endear yourself to your new fans.
Yeah. Yes, there's just a different energy level amongst the 18 now out there for Hawthorn, or still at the 21. They're alternating, of course, but they just have now got run in them, whereas Collingwood are really struggling to move the ball. And we've seen it from the kick-ins. I mean, they're not giving the player kicking in anything to kick to. I mean, that's a great finish from Gunston, but they're just not able to move the ball. Hawthorn, however, they just really got the run going.
And the skipper delighted. Both captains missing tonight. Hawthorn with the last 8 scores of the game, 3-5. They've probably put it away. There is time enough for Collingwood, but it could have been put away a lot earlier had they kicked straight. Pounds back in the middle. Jolly has to wait. Macaulay came at him, slips a hand pass intended for Sewell. Missed the target. Sewell couldn't control it. Thomas kicks it down towards half forward. Birchall comes up strongly. Up went Stratton, knocked it away. Brewster's in the action. Got a deflection across towards a teammate and Savage. Comes back to Bruce from Birchall. He's immediately set upon. And by McBurney comes across. What a game it's been. Savage in all respects. One down by Macaulay. Just non-stop action. Thomas feeds it forward. Fasolo's away. Runs to 55, sends it very long. It could bounce through. Well, it's touched about 2 metres out and spills across the line.
Really great work there by Matt Suckling. Realised that Gibson was one out on Cloak. He played the loose man and got right at the coalface of the goal.
23 minutes gone. We've just lost the clock internally here, but about 6 minutes to go, we feel. 6.5, Schoenmaker. So there is time, but the momentum is with the Hawks. That's a magnificent kick to Gunston, and then Gunston quickly to Franklin, but he's going to kick 5. He does, and the Hawks are going to win. You would think from here.
How's that for a transfer of play? One kick to half back to half forward to the goal square goal.
It's been a theme all night from the kick-ins, hasn't it?
Well, for Hawthorn it has been, but that kicking skill, but it's really the transfer. As they've got tired, Collingwood's defensive pressure has just dropped off a bit. So Hawthorn have been able to still put the pressure on the Collingwood ball movement. But as this game has gone on, Hawthorn have just broken open.
Well, the Pies are accustomed to playing a press. We've seen it for the last couple of years, and as the players have got tired and the way the game's panned out, it's gone to one-on-one, and then it comes into probably the fitness and the maturity of the players, and the Hawks have been able to run over the top of them.
What a great cameo too from Jack Gunston, the substitute. Kicked one, a beautiful goal, and then setting that one up for Franklin. 5 times now he's booted 5 against the Magpies. Birchall goes out wide, taken by Smith. His best is 8 against Collingwood. He might improve on the 5. There's still plenty of time. Taken by Swan, away to O'Brien. Jolly. There seemed to be a look of resignation on Nathan Buckley's face moments ago. Swan, Blair, back to Swan. They're corralled across half-back. They kick in desperation. Sinclair went at the football. Suckling with experience waited back that time. White cross tackle by Sinclair. Well done by Sinclair. He's won the free kick alongside the centre circles. Looks down towards half forward. They've got no time to dilly-dally. He kicks a very high ball. Cloak impeded initially. Comes at it now. Both hands to the football. Spills behind. Chance for Smith. Hurriedly off the ground. Lumbering at it there. Taking it nicely Jolly. But the kick not so flash. Wanders towards the pocket. Good concentration from Guerra. He must be tired. And he marks it overhead.
So past 25 minutes in the final term, about 25 and a half. Mitchell, terrific first half, Mitchell. Out wide. What's his disposals, Mitchell? He's up to
30.
30. Well, he does that so regularly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's his average.
Look at the centre square. If they go to it, they're on.
He averaged 30.5 last year, Mitchell, so that kick from Hale out wide. Franklin just got rid of his man, ducked his head down low, good hands to Osborne, and Osborne kicks another one. So they've got 20 Hawthorn.
It's 10-10 in the second half after 10-6 in the first. I mean, that's the big... I think the worry from Collingwood's point of view is Hawthorn's kicked 20 goals against them. They just, their defensive mechanisms just haven't held up tonight.
Only averaged 10 last year against.
And just repeating, we've got a problem with that countdown clock. Time expired is approaching 27 minutes now.
Thanks,
So
Brad.
it's done and dusted, this
Brad.
one.
Remember the preliminary final last year was about 10 goals, 9 goals to 10 goals. So different type of game altogether tonight.
Biggest lead of the match right here. Jolly hooks it as far as Mitchell, lays it off to Suckling. He's been important across half back. Bateman runs to the outer side wing. Left foots it down towards the attacking 50, and Reid, he's been gallant in this final term. Saw him turn an ankle. Competed for the same ball that he injured himself on. Now he's still going. Deep in his own defensive area. It all stands for naught. Cloak in front. Takes the strong mark. Cloak just behind centre wing. Goes long down towards half forward. Gibson cleverly gets rid of Dawes. Takes the mark on his chest. Pops it over the top. And Guerra's got it. So fun times now for the Hawks. It comes back to Birchall. And they're content just to run down the clock. Stratton.
They've done it well. So 3.5 minutes to go, and Hawthorn lead by 5 goals. 29 points to be exact. Remember that Collingwood last year, they won 20 of their first 21 games.
Yeah,
lost to Geelong.
Because they lost the grand final to Geelong, you just forget what a magnificent year they had. I mean, 22 in the 20 wins, 2 losses in the home and away percentage, the best of any of the 22-round season.
So Saul, but Lee, it is a different team.
Different team altogether. You'll have played 3 first gamers, and I don't know. I always have thought, I don't care who if they're young first gamers, you know, 1 or 2 maybe, but if you play 3, and they've got really nothing out of the kids tonight. Yagnor, Seedsman, sort of Payne, even Sinclair and Keith, they just haven't got enough out of their bottom 4 or 5 to be really competitive over the whole game.
Seedsman, a couple of possessions right there, drives it inside the forward 50, going back Gibson, knocks it in front. Dawes clears a path for a teammate Thomas, slips it across to Cloak, who snaps and pulls it back too far behind. So 108 plays 136. It really has been a massive tug of war tonight. And in the end, Hawthorn has just worn Collingwood down. Collingwood came back a few times, but they couldn't really pull away since quarter time.
In fairness, should remove Seedsman from that group. I mean, he was the sub till halfway through the 3rd quarter, but you know, just nevertheless, not much out of that group.
Collingwood probably should have been 4 or 5 goals in front early, shouldn't they? They had a lot of the play early.
Good enough early, but that lack of seasoning often means that you're going to tire earlier.
Well, 2.5 minutes to go. Tarrant and Johnson are both playing VFL this weekend. Maxwell reckons he'll be back next week. Didak's a couple of weeks away. So there's troops coming. Smith's kick forward, and that ball's still in play. Lewis, still with Lewis. He looks up. Lovely stuff. Good play.
It's been a good move too, Bruce. Alistair Clarkson removed the defender in Bowman. Saw the game needed to be one scoring and brought on Gunston, and he's been very valuable since coming on as a sub.
As Dennis said, lovely little cameo this from Gunston. This has been a good start by him, and this would top it off. Adelaide were really disappointed to lose him last year. just missing. So he got the hard one.
We just saw a shot of Nathan Buckley in the coach's box and asked him before the game, because really, when the game starts, as a coach, you always feel, I'm out of control now. It's just the play. Everyone thinks the coach is in control once the game starts, but you're not. It's all about the players. I think that's what Bucks might be thinking right now.
Clark has made a nice return, kicks the ball high towards the wing. This guy's got 5. Franklin, untidy kick, very casual, taken by Sinclair, pops it over the top. Swan for Solo alongside the centre circles, penetrating kick and a beauty at about head height all the way, and Thomas takes the mark. He started very slowly tonight, Daisy Thomas.
Haven't had that many opportunities. This is a beautiful kick in from Fasolo. I think one of the real positives for the Hawks tonight is the way that the key defenders have been able to work together. They've been isolated at times, but they've had a third man in on that occasion. You see the benefit of having an open forward line and quality ball use going forward.
Thomas just the one possession, a hand pass in the first term. He's kicked a goal. He's got 19 possessions now, so he's fought back pretty well. Had a purple patch to start the third term, and he kicks his second goal right there.
Inside the last minute now.
Just an interesting discussion, but what we're seeing in round one, particularly in this game tonight, you're seeing what footy's like when players are that bit more fatigued, I reckon, than they have been through this whole interchange here. I don't know, I like the look of the game when players are tired and more fatigued than maybe they have been 6 months ago or a year ago.
Absolutely.
So what are we going to see in round 10, do you reckon?
Well, I think the players will get more condition as they play, but I just think it's a look of football when players aren't fresh. They get tired halfway through the second quarter.
And it goes to one-on-one, you see. I mean, we have all these pressures, all these structures, all these sorts of things come into the game, but it's for the last quarter and a half, it's just been one-on-one.
Yeah, conventional footy, but a really good spectacle.
It's a good scoreboard, 20 goals to 16 too, isn't it? Lots of scoring shots. For Solo, run down. He's been impressive though for Solo. He's a good user of the ball. Macaulay on the up. Gee, Smith's had a terrific back half in this match. Franklin, 5 goals, done a lot. Saul, terrific. Out to Bateman, and then Bateman controlling it. And that one cut off. So Collingwood, could they get one late goal? For Solo quickly. Sinclair, been combative, done pretty well. Nicely weighted kick out wide. Payne takes the mark. Kicked a goal, Payne, with his second kick. And he might have the last roll of the dice here.
Come around this way if you want.
So Hawthorn, the premiership favourites before tonight, and they've won against the Pies in a high-scoring, high-quality match before a massive crowd. And the first gamer has the last kick of the match. Jackson Payne, 18 years of age. Does he get it home for a second? Just misses. So the Hawks win 2017 to 16 goals, 19.